Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to be covering a planner for 2023 for my girlfriend. I hope you'll stay tuned. Well, I really love doing this, and this is the one I chose this year. It's from Dollar Tree. It has this plasticky, rubbery thing that I don't like. On the outside, my girlfriend really likes Wizard of Oz. And I have Graphic 45 paper that I bought specifically for her. It's a pad called the Magic of Oz collection. And this one is called the Scatterbrain Scarecrow. And it looked like this originally. I loved this image, but it wouldn't fit on my project, which bummed me out. But I loved it anyway. I might still do something with it later on. This is the piece I'm going with. And what I did was I just wrapped it around my book. Well, first of all, what I did was I really thought this was cute. This wanted a brain with this scarecrow. So I measured it and I wrapped it like this so that it would be able to stay on my book. And then I scored. I'll tell you where I scored. So if you want to do this, you can... you'll know where your scores need to be. So I scored at, on this end, I didn't score it. Nope, it goes this way. Clearly upside down. I scored it at 3/4 of an inch. Then I just folded it there. I scored it at 8 5/8. Then on the top and the bottom, I scored it at 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch from the bottom of this side. And then the other thing that I did was I made sure this was tall enough. So it is 7.5 inches tall, 12 inches wide at this point. Now the 12 inches wide, it could be a lot shorter than that, but I'll show you why I haven't cut that off yet. It's one of those things where I'm just, I don't know what to do. See, when you put this in, okay, this is where it's going to stop there, right? Then this side, you have to have a little bit of extra wiggle room. So it's got about 1/8 of an inch extra. And then I had this fella on the inside, and I thought, oh, he's so cute. Do I want to get rid of him? I really didn't want to get rid of him. I could make this into a pocket. So that's what I think I'm going to do, is just make him so that she can put things in right there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tear tape on both ends. I just bought a bunch of tear tape from Amazon that I was happy about. I'll put a link below. You know, I don't get credit for it. You know, I'm not affiliated with anybody, but if I like a product, I like to tell you about it because you might like it too. And my friend Sherry is the one that told me about this product. Hi, Sherry! In case you're out there. She said she really liked this tear tape, and she sent me some originally, and so I, of course, liked it too. And so I'm trying to get a straight line. It's not going well for me today. Okay, and then I'm going to put a piece right at the edge. Like that. Okay. Some of these pieces I need to get rid of. I think, I don't know. I'm trying to contemplate what I want to get rid of. I think I'm going to, this is me talking to myself while I'm doing this. I think I need to cut out this corner to and including this score line. Do the same at the top. Can't see the score line. Come on, Sandy, figure it out where it is. It's in a secret spot. I'm going to have to fake this one. I can't really see it. It's underneath the tape. I'm going to get rid of that whole score line that's right there. Okay. I'm going to start with this end. We're going to put this together. This is a very, very fast thing to do. where it should be. When I do it, it's never fast because I always end up making paper clips to match and things like that. Okay, want to make sure your book is right side up. If it's not right side up, you didn't do it right. And believe me, I've done that so many times. I am on to my own faux pas now. This is why I got rid of that extra piece, because this can fold over if I want it to, or I can get rid of it. I think I'm going to get rid of it because it's not going to make me happy. I might leave this section in. I don't know. We'll talk about that in a second. Let me cut this out. I wish I had done this before I glued it in, because then I could have used my paper trimmer to do it, but I did not. This will make it easier for me to see what I'm doing. Trust me when I tell you, if I don't see what I'm doing, I'm not going to do it right. And there. Okay. So I'm going to... Now all of a sudden I can see my score line. Of course, that's the way it worked. Couldn't see that score line for the life of me, and now all of a sudden it's right there. I wondered where it went. So I put a lot of tear tape over the back of my... This is the journal. Not journal. It's not a journal. It's a calendar. Okay, we're back on the same page with each other again. I put tear tape, as I said, all over this, but because I'm Sandy and because I do things a little bit crazy, I accidentally cut the Oz paper a little bit too short. That's the thing that's great about this tear tape. The backing comes off really nice if you take it off with a pokey tool. Okay, so I cut a piece too short. And so I need to put in this teeny tiny little sliver where I have the issue. And where I have the issue is right here. So what I'm going to do, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking to yourself, holy crap, Sandy, how are you going to make that work? I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm going to push this down across everything. And then I'm going to try and get this little piece where it needs to be. And if it looks horrible, like if everybody notices it and goes, geez, oh man, Sandy, you whacked that off there, it looks terrible, then I'll probably have to start over. But if nobody notices it and nobody cares, then why should I, right? So here is what I was thinking I would make into a pocket. And I could do it a couple different ways. I'm going to take my tear tape, I'm going to put it on the very bottom and very top edge of my book. I'm going to have to cut it off a little bit, so make it a little bit shorter. Okay. Then we're going to take the backing off of it. Now this is going to make a pocket. I want to make sure that I have some room on the bottom for this pocket. See now my pocket is right like that. And she could just... So let's do some folding to make sure our little fellow wants to stay closed. Okay. The more she plays with this, the better it's going to do as far as staying closed. Like right now, it's not into it, but it will be. I could, and I might, take some of my scrap. Oh, that would be cute. But then it would cover up some of him. I wonder how much of him I would need. So I need 1 inch across the front, 5/16 to go across this part. And then I think I'm going to go, I don't want to go much over that fella. If I can avoid going over him, I would. I think I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch on the back. 3/4 of an inch. So I would score it. So first thing we need to do is we need to cut this. Remember, we want him. 6.5 inches is what I need. Ooh, that'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be great because it'll have all of him in it. Okay. Then I need it to be 3 1/8. So I'm going to turn it this way and see 3. I'm going to cut off this piece so that you can figure out what I'm doing with measurements, because when you have that extra little strip on there, it's hard to look at measurements and know what you're doing. All right. If I did 3 1/8, which is what I said I needed. Oh, it does his hand and everything. How fabulous. Okay. We're ready for this guy. I know. I know. He's looking good. Now we need to get our scoreboard. Let me score it at 3/4 of an inch. And then from there, I want to do 5/16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/16 takes me to half of him. Okay, there's our little, we'll call it box. And then there's, see, that box is too big. Okay, so I made it 1/8 of an inch shorter. Let's see if it will, because I'm thinking that she puts paper in it. Yeah, I think that gives her enough room. What do you think? Think that does? We're going with it. I'm going to round my corners, because clearly now's the time to do that, since I've had so many issues up to this point. I have this ribbon from Stampin' Up! That I like. Their ribbon doesn't usually do much of the, what do you call that? Fraying. But if you cut it at an angle like that, you usually have better luck with it. I'm going to put it, I think I'll make it about that long. That long. I'll tell you how long that long is, since I've done some fancy measuring there. It is, in fact, 11.5 inches long. That's how long that piece is. So what I'm going to do with it, trying to find a good place to stash it. I'm going to put my ribbon somewhere where I can put it right here. If I just glue it in right there, that gives me enough room to mess with it, doesn't it? I think it does. And the book has a little issue right here at this piece where they stapled it. It looks like the staple came loose, so I'm just going to cover that with ribbon. It just comes out the bottom like that. I could have done a better job, I know it, but I didn't. Okay, let's get serious about this piece. You only want to put your tear tape on the back of this, and you only want it to be up to the score line that's going to make it close. No, did I even say that? That made no sense at all. You're going to put it on your paper up to, but not over, the very last score line, because that's what's going to make it so that we can attach this to our book and have our book close like that. Seems like it's a little bit long. I don't know why it would be a little bit long, because it shouldn't be. These are the mysteries of life. Okay, well, we're going with it anyway. Got our tear tape in place. Now I need to find my pokey tool again. Right there, right where I put it. So we're going to attach this. I'm going to put some wet glue on it too, I think, just to make sure that we can glue it down and that it will stay. I don't trust any medium. Like, I don't trust tear tape for everything. I don't trust glue for everything. But if I have both of them, I'm on board. I've got a plan. So that we don't cross that last line. Okay. We have no glue on the rest of this. But we're going to put our Velcro right there in the front. I'm all about these Velcros from Dollar Tree for paper. I think they do a really great job of sticking and not ripping the paper. You also want to make sure, if you use these, that you put it closer to the edge, like the middle edge. You want to make sure it's closer to that edge because that's going to make sure that when you lift it up, it doesn't rip. I'm making sure my book is well closed. He wants a brain. I think he's really cute. And we're going to pull him back off. And then we have to make sure that the Velcro that I just attached stays stuck. It didn't want to stay stuck. That's why it was doing that. I'm thinking it looks good. I wish my ribbon was longer. I might have to rethink my ribbon. You know, in life, all it takes is a good easy fix. And in this case, the easy fix is making sure that my ribbon is long enough. It's plenty long this time. I don't like that this is kind of flimsy. I know. I should have done this before, huh? Let me see what I can do with this. I'm going to make this thicker. I'm going to add one more piece of this Oz paper. It doesn't matter if this rips because I'm going to be taking it off. I'm going to be covering it up. Taking it off, covering it up, either way. Then I just need to find another strip. This is the exact same piece I need. How fabulous is this? The other thing that's important at this point, I'm only covering to the first score line. You have to make sure that your Oz is going in the right direction and that your corners are rounded on the right side, which means I need to round them at the top of the word Oz. Pull my paper out. I didn't have it in there properly. Then, when you put this in, you need to make sure that you do a really good job with your tear tape. Again, you want to go right up to your score line with this. And you need to cover, my Velcro is on my finger. Don't let me forget that's where I put it. You want to make sure you cover a lot of this because when that Velcro rips up and down or up, like every time you use it, the Velcro is going to be pulling at this paper and at your glue. So you want to make sure you don't screw this up. You need a lot of tear tape in this section. I'll tell you the score marks on this when I'm done. I'll tell you how big this piece is and at what point I scored it. That way you'll know if you do this, you'll know exactly how big this piece is and it'll make sense. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I've got wet glue. You want to put wet glue everywhere you don't have tear tape, and you want to make sure that you put it on all of your edges, the wet glue, because if I lay this piece of paper down and I did it wrong, then I can't pick it back up. But if I do have that wet glue in place, it will make it so that I can, in fact, rip it back off and reposition it. So I put my Velcro, my piece that was on my finger, I put right there. You want to wrap this around, making sure that you've done a good job of gluing it down first. And then tear it back off. Now we have a much more secure flap, and it looks really good. So I think next I'm going to make a couple of paper clips. I have a couple gold ones. Well, a couple. I have a box I got at a garage sale, these great big gold ones that I like. They're big ones. Oh, I didn't know they had little ones. I have little ones in here too. Fabulous! These came with the set of oh my word, I forgot. Wizard of Oz. Cheaper, Sandy. You're not really with it. So I think I'm going to use the two that say Oz, the purple ones. And I think I'm going to use the two that are compass, that are green. I think I need to make this pocket more recognizable as a pocket. I think I'm going to use one of my paper punches and punch it so that it has like a finger slot. This is a 1 1/4 inch. Can I tell how far in there it is? Not really. I'm going to go with it anyway. Ha! How's that hit ya? There it is. The finger mark. You can put your little finger in there and look for your whatever is in that slot. So then all we need to do is get our paper clips and roll with it. I think I might use, even if it says Oz, if I put it right there, that should work. Let me see if my glue gun is hot. Alright, I'm going to flip over and put enough hot glue on here. So we're going to put another layer of glue and line it up. Oh, that looks good. What do you think? Fun. Alright, now we're going to do whatever this is, the word Oz. Okay. You want to make sure when you do this that you put glue on the right part of it. And in this case, the word Oz needs to be face up and not crooked like it is. Doesn't that look cute? Turn it over, add more glue, and then this time put this Oz on top. Last one is the little green one. Okay. You're going to put it with the west facing up, one of the west. And again, you're going to squish it. Squish it, squash it, whatever you call it. This is a file block you get at the Dollar Tree, in case you wondered. In the tool department. I don't like those weird edges, as I said. You know, where they have the little piece that attached to the rest of the project. I don't dig that look. Let me give you the measurements for this back piece. It's 6.5 inches tall. And it is 2 5/8 inches wide. So your piece of paper is 2 9/16 of an inch. You could make it 2 5/8. 2 5/8 inches wide, 6.5 inches tall. My ribbon that I put in there, let's go with how long it is now. It is 12 3/4 inches. You could make it shorter, you can make it longer, you can do whatever you want with that. But I think you want to have it close to this length. I mean, you want it to be able to stick out the bottom enough that you got it. And then I use paper clips I just had on hand. And what I like to do with these is I like to put them in the back section. So we're going to put them in our pocket so that she knows it's a pocket, and so that she can pull these out if she needs to put them in her calendar somewhere. 3 should be sufficient. If it's not, she can always tell me if she needs more. And you want your pocket, let me tell you how long that pocket is. Well, the whole thing was 12 inches long, as you'll recall. I didn't cut it. And that is how you make a really fun little calendar. I hope you enjoyed this, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.